So this video is mainly going to be about how to highlight underneath your eyes, contour your cheeks, and also highlight the corners of your lips. Okay? Alright, good. If you want to see how I did my nose and my Tree of Life, there's a video for that already. Okay? So I already did the Tree of Life in a way because I filmed the video in French, so it is what it is. So if you are French speaking and you actually want to see the Tree of Life in French, it'll be up on my other channel. So ladies, I already applied my foundation. So you guys often ask, what foundation do I wear? I wear the Locket Tattoo foundation by Kat Von D. It's this one. This is a full coverage foundation. I know, I love full coverage. It is what it is. And then before I apply my foundation, I use this. This I have for the longest time. I don't even know how to use it. But this is the Glisten Me by Sleek. It's a liquid illuminator, and it kind of brightens up your skin before you actually apply your foundation. So this first and then that. But I'll have the full foundation routine video, and then you'll get to see more of those two products being used and how I use them and what brush I like to use them with. So to start, what I like to use my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. Okay, so what you guys will learn with me is that I am the queen of concealers. Okay, it's life, I guess. Alright, so I like to apply in the back of my hands. I don't know, a few pumps, I guess. I don't know. Okay, and like I told you guys before, I don't believe in doing the V underneath the eyes, and you can know why in my Tree of Life video, how to contour your nose. So what I'm going to do, I like to use this sponge, this one right here. I bought this at Sephora. You have to make sure that it's a bit wet, but for this part it doesn't need to be wet. But for the next concealer, yeah, I love concealer, it's going to have to be a little bit moist. Okay, so what you want to do, you actually want to start applying it underneath your eyes, of course. Okay, if you hadn't done the Tree of Life or something, you can also do it here. We'll just do it here just to show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay, and if you want to know why I'm doing this, watch the Tree of Life video. Okay, alright, then you highlight. See, but one of the things I have to say, and I should have said this before I started, you also have to take the time to actually know your bone structure. Like, take the time and actually touch your face. Like, I know where my cheekbone is, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so go like this, corner of your nose, right? Okay, now one thing, if you've noticed and if you've seen a lot of makeup looks, sometimes you'll notice that people have this like really harsh line, okay, between their the rest of their makeup and the highlight under the eyes. And honestly, I think you should do your best to avoid that, because what you don't want to do with your contour, your highlight, and your foundation, you don't want to create sections of your face. Like, you don't want to have the section that's your nose, and the section that's the highlight, and the section that's this, and the section that's that. Because the more you divide your face into pieces or compartments like that, you're actually making your face wider, and you're creating a lot of demarcations on your face, and it does not look right. Your face needs to flow. Okay, so one way to make your face flow and to not have, because you'll see it, because what happens with a lot of girls is that they have this highlight right here, and because they're not using it properly, it makes their forehead seem darker, like there's oils right here, or it also makes it seem as though they didn't use enough foundation. You know what I'm talking about? I hope you know what I'm talking about. Alright, so what you want to do when you highlight, I suggest you take it all the way here, but don't just stop here, because if you stop here, now you have a line. And no matter how much you blend this, no matter how much powder you use, this line is always going to show in your pictures. It's just going to show, and it's not pretty. So what you want to do, okay, keep playing with the sponge like that on the product. Okay, make sure you don't have that much product left, but then you also want to go up. See, when you go up like that, you're getting rid of this line, right? You go all the way up. Like, kind of frame your face, frame your brows like that. Okay? I hope that makes sense. And by framing your face like that with the concealer, what you're doing now is you're actually sculpting your face, and you're actually making your face seem smaller. I mean, not smaller, your face is actually going to be slimmer. Like, look at this side. That's a fat face. Look at this side, because I'm creating a structure from here all the way underneath my eyes. What that does for me now, I can actually see the hollows of my cheek, and I don't even have to try for it. And that's just by you taking the concealer all the way up, okay? Using the rest of the product and taking that all the way up and framing your face, okay? And now the concealer part here, what you want to do, you want to keep playing with it until it gets like, until it kind of disappears. And that's why it's really nice to work with the sponge. And I guess that's why people really love the Beauty Blender, because a sponge will do that well for you. Like, it really is going to deposit the product on your skin. But on the same side, on the same token, like, it's also going to absorb the product right back into the sponge. Therefore, you are only going to have on your face what you need, while at the same time making sure that you have full coverage. And that's what I like. Okay, so keep playing with this until it kind of becomes like a flesh color, until it really matches your flesh. Ugh, can't speak today. It's hard going back from English to French, French to English. It's confusing. My tongue is all confused. Okay? See that? I will try my best to make sure this video is not too long, because last one was like 36 minutes. Okay, so see, you know there's concealer there, but it's not as sharp. Okay, and I like to use the Longwear Concealer because that one is actually going to last like all day. It's a great concealer. It does last all day. The Select Sheer Cover, this one, I really wouldn't recommend that to highlight underneath your eyes, because when you think about it, you're going to put this, then you're going to put the setting powder, then you're going to put your powder, then you're going to put your bronzer, whatever it is you're going to put on your face. And this substance right here, it's too liquid to be able to hold so much powder on top of it. I hope that makes sense. Like, you see, like, you know how if you mix, like, oh, this video is probably gonna be long, but whatever. Think about this for a second. Think of water or milk, right? And you're trying to have like oh my gosh, this is when you know English is not my first language. It's either chocolate milk or milk chocolate. Well, say you're trying to mix it with Ovaltine, right? I always get the two confused. I'm so sorry, and my husband's not here to translate for me. So, but you know how when you mix powder with, like, you know, Ovaltine with your milk, for example, because it's so liquid, what it does is, like, it's easier for the powder, like the Ovaltine, to kind of mix with your milk, because the milk is liquid. Does that make sense? Okay, but think of oatmeal, for example. Like, if you had oatmeal and maybe Ovaltine or any kind of powder, it's harder for your stuff to mix in there, because the oatmeal is so it's so thick. It just wants the stuff to lay on top of it. Does that make sense? So if you use a concealer like that, which is very, very light, what happens with the powders and the powders and the powders and the powders and the powders, their stuff is actually going to break this liquid and kind of sit in between. I hope that makes sense. So you're not going to have like a flawless finish. Like, it's not going to stay on all days, and it make a cake. I hope that makes sense. I really hope that makes sense. You have to be a visual learner to get what I'm saying, okay? Because I'm going to use a lot of powders over this. So it's really good to use this, because this is going to stay all day, and it's thick enough that it's not going to let anything get in between. So I'm going to have a really nice facelift all day. Okay, put it that way. Okay, so that's that. You see that? Then you can also do the same on the other eye. Alright. Like I said before, the more you know your face, like touching your face and knowing your face, you'll know how low to take your highlight. And I've done this a lot, so I kind of know without having to touch my face. I can just feel it. My bone's right here. Okay, then you just frame your face again. Okay. I'm gonna try to speed this up so it's not as long. I want you to see me do my whole face. Okay. So you can kind of tell that it's there, but it's blended. Like, you have to do that. And the sponge is just great for that. Okay. Now the next thing you want to do, or the next thing I do, because I really like full coverage. And what I'm doing now, when you'll see my foundation routine, you'll see that it really is going to help you have a flawless finish. Like, it's going to look like you just had a facelift. Like, yes. So what I like to use next is my Dermablend Concealer. You guys have seen this before. If you haven't, I talked about this one in my Tree of Life video, how to contour for a wide nose. This color, I believe, was a number 4. I think so. I think it was a number 4. So what you want to do, you don't want to stick your fingers in there. Like I said, you'll contaminate the product. Use a spatula and get some of it out. Okay, now this one is very thick. This is the Cover Cream. It's very thick, so you don't want anything that's super thick on your face, because if it's super thick, when you put all the powders, like the setting powder, your mineralized skin finish, it's actually going to be cakey, and that's something we don't want. In order for you to have the perfect facelift with your concealer, everything needs to blend, everything needs to be silky, like easy to work with. Okay, so at this time, this is when you would actually make this moist. I didn't say wet. If you make it wet, it's actually going to erase the concealer. You want to make it moist. Like, if you can spray a little bit of water on it, yeah. Okay, and it's also good if you can use some hot or warm water on top of it to make it moist, because warm water is amazing. That also helps having a very flawless finish, especially with your foundation. Okay, so I'm gonna change sponges. This one is actually moist. Okay, so I'm gonna use this. Don't mind this. I've used this before, just today for my nose, but put some right here, different color. Okay, and since this is moist, it's actually going to be easier to work with, because it's going to actually break the foundation for us. I mean, it's break the concealer for us. So go like that. Break that concealer down. Okay. Okay. Break it down. Break down. Bone Thugs and Harmony, honey. Alright, so then what you want to do, and this right here, the reason why I'm using something that's darker than this one, because I want to bring back my color. Especially when you're dark skinned, it really looks weird when your highlight is pale. Girl, it looks like you were like sniffing on crack or something, or sniffing on coke. This is not New Jack City. Okay, I remember that movie. That was crazy. Okay, so now what you want to do is you just want to dab this on. Okay, and see, this is pale and this is a bit more. This is warm. Okay, so that's that. So everywhere you place that first concealer, the Pro Longwear Concealer. The Pro Longwear Concealer, the color is NC42. I went with something that's a yellow undertone. Even though my skin is a red undertone, but I went with this one because it's a yellow undertone. Kind of contradict with my natural flesh color. Okay, so just do that. Let me fix my mirror here. Okay, so you want to warm it up. And my makeup techniques when it comes to your face, make sure you take that here. Everywhere you place the first concealer, you want to go back over it. Okay? Okay. So like I was saying, my makeup technique really is for like the everyday woman who has to go to work, go to church, looks normal for her husband. You know, it's nothing like crazy. Okay, and you see what I'm talking about, the facelift. And that's why I like to use Dermablend. Even though it's really thick, the cover cream is very thick. The nice thing about it, when you work with a really moist sponge and you break it down like I showed you guys, what it does for you, it really gives you that facelift. If you don't know about Morel Hollis, he's a makeup artist. He is Wendy Williams' makeup artist, and sometimes I follow him. He's super sweet. He has a makeup group on Facebook. If you are about makeup, not to spam or bother him, but if you really are about makeup and you want to meet some nice people there, you can ask to join his group. You can also follow him on Instagram. And he uses a lot of Dermablend foundation for Wendy. And what you'll notice when you look at Wendy's face, even though I'm sure she's had plastic surgery, but she has a really nice pulled look. And it's really nice. I think it's really flattering, actually. Because who wants to age? Are you serious? Not me. Okay. So you do that. So you still have concealer, and with me, what you'll notice with me, if you're not looking carefully, I do have some fine lines right here. If you take the time and look right here, okay? So something like Dermablend also kind of lifts up my skin a little bit by just kind of sitting there, so they're not as visible, okay? But a thing with working with a really thick concealer underneath the eye, if you know how to work with it, if you know how to break it down, if you have a really nice sponge that's kind of wet, what it will do for you is that it's going to give you a really nice lift. Like it's going to pull because it's so thick. I mean, it's not that thick, but it's thicker than the rest. Okay? And once again, trim your face like that. And also, before we proceed, I just want to let that sit there. You want to kind of let it sit there for a few minutes, like in like a minute or so. So it kind of sits in, like it kind of sips into your skin. You'll see what I mean. And then we're going to move to the corners of our lips. Now, one thing I've noticed, I used to do it myself, so it's not like I'm trying to make fun of anyone. But when you're darker skin, like if you're like my complexion or darker or a little bit lighter but still dark, and you have the dark lips like I do, the corners of our lips, like that, like they're always dark, okay? And even if you put your foundation, because I did put foundation but it's still dark, and you'll put your powder, it's still going to show. So you never have like a evenness, like a foundation that's even and flawless all over, okay? So what you want to do to kind of avoid that, you also, I want you to take this one, the Pro Longwear Concealer. It's the best one. Not this one. This one really, I would say, use this only to clean your brows. Like really, it's too light for anything else. Then you use your sponge as well. And then you want to put it here. In the corners of your mouth. You see that? And you can kind of blend it like that. Having a sponge to work with for concealer, and here also, don't forget your here, because sometimes because we have a bigger lip, so what that does is like it casts a shadow. It'll cast a shadow on your chin right here. So this as well. Then you can kind of blend it, okay? All right. Now I don't like to highlight the Cupid's bow because my lips are already big. This is how big my lips are. Like it's ridiculous. I can't. Girl, no. It'll look like something else. So, do this. Blend this. Okay. So, after that, what we want to do, and see, now you can see more of the evenness. Like, if you'll rewind back to before I actually put concealer here, you'll see what I was talking about. But now, like, you already see more of an evenness by just making sure that you highlight the corners of your lips. Okay, now that we can come back to this, okay? And what we're going to do, we're going to use the Dermablend Loose Setting Powder. This color is in Cool Beige. I recommend that you use this one if you want to, I mean, if you don't have one already and you're looking for a setting powder, I recommend this one because this one is really good. Whether you're going out, taking pictures, going to work, it's really good. Then you want to shake it, get some product out. And we're going to take some of these wedges here, okay? And if you saw, and then if you watch my Tree of Life video, this will just be a repeat. So kind of break the product here so you don't take too much product at once on your face. And just work like that. Alright, so see, if you stop right here, you're bringing back this line. And the thing you have to remember about loose setting powder is that it has memory. In the sense that where you leave it is actually where it's going to sit. Okay, so you don't want to do that. That's why I say, like, you want to take it up like this. Okay? Yeah, and always remember that loose setting powder has memory, so you have to know where you want it to sit. Otherwise, it'll just sit there. It won't know what to do. Okay, so you kind of use it like that and frame your brows with it like this, see? And that's why putting the concealers prior to us working with the loose setting powder, it really is going to help the powder not just to adhere to your foundation, but more onto the concealer, giving you that nice flawless finish and giving you a nice facelift. Because look, if I go like this, that's pulling in one direction, but then when I pull like this, by going up like that with the wedges, what I'm doing, I'm also pulling up. So I'm pulling like this and I'm pulling up like that. With makeup, of course, right? So I'm get this like really nice lift here, and then I get my eyes also, my eye gets to go up. You know, you raise your eye and it gets to go up like that. Ugh. I'm sorry guys, but I have to explain to you guys because some of you guys just don't know, you know. And one thing I've noticed with short videos here on YouTube, especially when it comes to makeup or when it comes to like things people don't know, if you don't present proper information, like complete information and proper information, people have a tendency to fill in the blanks for themselves. That's why a lot of people were walking around here with the halos, with the eyebrows, you know, even though it was a good technique, but not having full and complete information of the technique. Like people start doing crazy stuff, you know, and that's why we usually say like, oh, kids say the darndest things, because kids, their logic is not complete because they don't have full information. So whatever they think they saw, they think that's like the truth. Like for example, if you're pregnant and you ask a baby, why is your mom pregnant? She'll tell you, mommy drank a lot of water and that's why she's pregnant. Because for her, when you drink water, your stomach gets pregnant and that's how you probably got pregnant. Is that correct? No. But is she correct to think in that way? Of course, you know. So that's why I'm like, if you're new to makeup and you just don't know anything about this, watching a 4-minute video without having complete understanding of what is going on, you're just going to go out there, go to MAC, buy everything you see, come home and feel defeated. And then you'll try all these crazy things because you want to fill in the blanks. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So when you watch my contour videos, yeah, this pretty much look at it as like a masterclass. Yeah. Okay. Yep, it is what it is. Okay. And here as well. Feel free to use more product, but always break it down on the back of your hand first. Because it's easier to start with less and then build than to start with too much, because then how are you supposed to take that down? Okay. I'm not going to focus on the nose too much because there's an entire video about that and I don't want this video to be about the nose. So if you want to know about the nose, please watch that video. And like that again. Once again, remember, loose setting powder has what? It has memory. So wherever you leave it, that's where it will sit on your skin. Even once you apply your powder and your mineralized skin finish. Okay. Alright. And you want to keep playing with this until you kind of get it to be like a nice color. Okay, like a natural color, so it doesn't look like there's powder on your face as much. Alright, so see already, you see this, you should see, this is what you should see. Imagine I had done like my nose in the Tree of Life, you would actually see this right here, then you would see this, like a nice carving of my face. Alright, and you can kind of already see the hollows of my cheek even though I didn't do anything yet. Okay, and then like my lips also, the corners of my lips blend in very well with the rest of my foundation. There are no dark corners. Make sense? Alright, so let me close this. So, what you want to do, I've talked about this brush before. That's the Dermablend brush. You don't have to buy it. I bought it because I figured they know their product, so they must have made a brush to go well with their product. Okay. So, take that and get rid of all the product. Get rid of excess product, I'm sorry. Okay? You should see like my face has pulled, like sort of like me getting plastic surgery. It's really tight. And that's the Dermablend for you. But make sure the sponge is not dry. It has to be wet. I mean moist. Okay? Alright, so once you're done with that, the next thing you want to do now is, now we want to contour. Okay, and to contour, I like to use the Makeup Forever Dual Matte. What is this one? The Matte Velvet Plus. This shade right here is the darkest shade. I don't know, but it's the darkest shade they have. If you are lighter than me, like say you're Asian or you're white or something, don't use something like black. Use something that has like more of a caramel red undertone. Makes sense? Okay, because something muddy like that would just clash with your skin. We're going to apply this on the back of my hand like that. Okay. And then we're taking this brush, because like I said before, I contour my face twice. The first time I do it with foundation, the next time I do it with powder. Okay, and this, make sure it's dry. Like this foundation should actually feel like powder. It should actually be dry. Okay. Okay, good. And then make sure all the hairs are together nicely. Okay. Now, when you're dark skinned, you don't want to super contour your face because you'll just look weird. Like all the light would just be caught right here, and then your like it'll be like the jaws are missing. Or some girls are dark skinned and like they contour all over, and then their face looks like a beacon of light. Like that's just weird. Okay. Okay, good. What you want to do, you see this? You should also like see this line right here, right? What I'll say, this is what I like to do. You just want to do this. You just want to have a shadow of something. But don't take it all the way. Some people take it all the way down. If you take it all the way down, sweetheart, you are going to look like Chucky's bride. Like you'll look like those Muppets. Like that's not what you want. Just leave it right. Take it all the way here. Like the middle of your cheek, like right here. Stop. Okay? Take it right here. Stop. Alright, stop right there. And like I said before, what we're trying to do is we just want to give an illusion. You're wearing this makeup to go to work or something or church. You're not going to a club with this makeup. Like, it needs to look natural. Okay? So like that. And you stop right there. That, and you stop right there. Yeah, that's it for me. And then I will also take this underneath my jaw like that. Just a little bit. Like that, just a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to take it right here. This is why I actually didn't wear any hair, so you could actually see it. Take it a little bit, but by the time you get here, you shouldn't have that much product on the brush left. Okay, like that, a little bit. Like that, a little bit. And I'm just doing this for cohesion. Okay, so then you can kind of do this. So you don't have like disjointed lines, okay? Cohesion. Like that. Okay? You see this? Bam. That's enough. And feel free, if you want, you can also blend this up a little bit. Blend it up. And you see this? Even though I stopped right here, it seems like it's still going down, right? Good. And that's the thing. You don't actually have to go all the way down for people to get the illusion that your contour is going all the way down the hollows of your cheeks. Blend this up if you want, just a bit. Okay, good. Now, after that, well, let me just do my nose also so you know. Just going to reduce the nose right here. Alright, but you can see more about the nose in the other video. Then the next step is for you to use your powder. I don't have much powder left. And this one right here is by Makeup Forever. It's the Dual Matte Velvet 214. You want to take this. Let me try to get a little bit of the powder out. Okay, good. Use my fingernail. Okay, take this and you want to apply it all over your face. And you apply this. I like to apply this over my setting powder because the setting powder has nothing to do with your powder. Like some people, they apply the setting powder and they put nothing on it. So it's like your under eye area looks ashy. And even over the contour, yes honey, apply it over the contour. Apply it. Hide it. Nobody needs to know you're doing it. think of it as your kitchen. Like, think of it as your bathroom, okay? Think of highlighting and contouring as being in your bathroom. And sometimes your bathroom can be a little bit messy. Do you want the whole world to know that your bathroom is messy or that your bedroom is messy? No, you don't. Oh, this brush messed me up right here. You don't want that. You know? Certain things are meant to be a secret. Okay? You apply on your forehead. Like I said before, because I always do my brows before so I don't have a halo. So in order to not mess up the contour of your brows, what you want to do, you just want to press and turn. Press and turn. Like that. Bam. Good. Good job. Right here too, same thing. Press and turn. Alright. Press it and turn. If you look here, you see what I mean about the loose powder and the concealer, like especially the loose powder having memory, and the fact that you took it all the way up. Now there is... What I like to do, because of all these different powders, the Mineralized Skin Finish, the face powder, the loose setting, the concealer, I like to buff everything out. Okay, so this one is the Kabuki by NARS, and the reason why I like this one, because the way it's shaped, like it's dome shaped, so what it does is like it goes like this against your skin, okay, and it buffs everything else. So this one, I don't really like to hold it to use it. I like to just let it move the way it's supposed to move. So buff it like that. Don't actually hold it. Just open the palm of your hand and work with it. It's hard talking and doing it at the same time, so I'm just going to do it. Alright, so you can already see that the way I buff with the Kabuki brush, that this is gone. Like, you don't really see it, but you know it's there, but you don't really see it. That's what I like. So then after that, what we're going to do, we're going to contour our face again for a second time. And I like to use this, which is the Sleek Contouring Kit in medium. Okay, then some of my favorite contouring brush for my face are these ones right here. So this one is, they're both by Sephora, but this is the It collection and this is the Pro collection. So this is the Pro Contour blush, and this one is also a contour brush, but this is the 133 and this is 74. Okay, so I'm gonna go with this one. They're both really good. Alright, so go like this, take some of the product like that, okay, because you don't want to have a lot. We just want to just bring it back, but not too much. So like this. And I think I even put too much. Alright? And then use the clean one and buff that out. And then you can use this and keep buffing it in. Okay, so it's not visible, but it should be there, but it shouldn't be that visible. Alright. You can also take it here lightly, but make sure you don't have too much product. Okay, and once you put on your blush and stuff, it's going to go away even more. Okay? But yeah. That's why it's better when you actually contour the first time with foundation before, like underneath your powder, and then you just do a little bit more at the end just to kind of just bring back a little bit of dimension to something like that, and that's it. Yeah, I'm gonna stop talking now. But yeah, please follow me on Instagram, follow my Twitter, and be on my Facebook page. I would love to get to know you. And yeah, so thank you for spending your time with me. I'm sure this was long, but hey, it's another masterclass by moi, Marlène et Mud. Okay, so bye guys.